Go.
Hi everyone, it's Kevin from the Figaro Owners Club. Great to be with you. Today we're in the Figaro shop at Didcot, and the reason we've come over is because what they offer here is a really unusual service, and it's one where if you've got a Figaro, you've just inherited it or you've had it for a few years and you're not quite sure what the cost could be to repair it, or you're thinking you want some internal work done, or you've got a little bit of rust on it, what you can do is you can bring it to the Figaro shop. They will do a comprehensive, what they call valuation on the car, and they'll virtually go all over it and give you a really comprehensive estimation, like a menu of what you could do. So I'm with Christian Brooks here today from the Figaro shop.
Morning.
So just explain the level of service you do on this, because looking on the website, and I've heard from our members before how comprehensive it is, and the good thing is it's free of charge, I understand.
It is. So with the evaluation, we found that over the years, many customers would come to us and ask us how much it is for a repaint, or that they want to, how much is it for bumpers, or prices are on a mixture of things altogether. But the problem that we always found is that with the Figaros now being 34 years old, is they all mature differently.
Yeah.
They've all been worked on by somebody else.
Yep.
And yes, we have an idea on the prices, but then normally it's so much more unique to individual car.
Yes.
So one thing that Tobin and Danny, and over the years that I've worked on, is developing this evaluation program. So what we do is, if you're a new owner, current owner, looking for some work, unsure, just generally want to know what's going on with the car, we get the car here. We then divide it into two stages, mechanical and cosmetic.
Right.
We then have one of our mechanical guys will spend about 3.5 hours on the vehicle going through everything mechanical. So they take it for a drive if it's still able to be driven. They then come back, they put it on a ramp, take all the wheels off, look at everything to do. They do compression tests, they do head gasket tests.
And this is all on you. You're doing all this.
This is all on us for free.
So there's no commitment at the moment?
Commitment, zero commitment from a customer. Once they're done, they then video it, so they then talk about what it is they're finding. We then hand over normally the next working day to the cosmetic guys, where they get it on a ramp. They talk about the rust, the inside, the outside, all the switch gear, the electronics, the hood, everything you can imagine to do with cosmetics. That all gets put together by me on a report, which we actually call the health check.
Right.
So it's, I think from memory, around about 200 items, which is traffic lighted.
I've seen one before.
And then we have 2 videos that go with it, and we send that all on a private portal to the owner, so the owner can log in, watch it as many times as they like, and then from there we can have discussions with the customer of what they're looking to do, whether that be that they want to do some work, they want to do complete restoration,
so,
they want to do nothing.
I mean, arguably they might say, well, you know, I've only got £3 to spend or £2 to spend. What would you suggest I do? And you might say, you know,
for us,
do
it just
this.
allows us to prioritise.
Exactly.
So you know, we see it time and time again that people want every Figaro to look shiny and pretty. It's normal because they're a pretty car. But for us, it allows us to give you the right advice to say, for example, it needs a seal, or it could be rotten, or the compression's really low on the engine, or the head gasket's failing, or it needs some silicone hoses, or it's got a water leak. Any of those.
I mean, roof issues are very common as well.
You know, so it just allows us to make sure you're spending your money wisely, rather than misleading it, basically, because it can be, you know, it's quite easy for a customer to phone up and just book in for some bumpers, and we do what a customer wants, but we find it's the only way to be as accurate and honest to customers as you can be. And like I say, because it's free, there's still no commitment. So if for any reason it needs too much work, that's equally fine, the car can go, and that's fine. There's no commitment, you've not spent a penny. But for us, it just allows us to make sure we're giving you the right advice all the way through.
I mean, it's a very generous thing to do that. I mean, obviously at the end of the day, you're looking to get hopefully some business from it, but as you say, there's no commitment. So it's really good.
Well, you've known us from when we started. The whole reason why we started was
back the same time as we did, I think, 15, 16 years ago.
You know, so everything that we do here is that if you want some advice, we give advice for free, obviously along with the evaluation. If you want parts, we have parts here, and you can do it mail order, and we can tell you how to fit that. If you want us to fit it, we can do that, and we can do that. It's almost like a one-stop shop, but it just allows us to be completely transparent, that if you can't do it, we can do it, or your other garage can do it, we can supply the parts. If you're unsure on how to do it, we can tell you how to do it and send you a video. But the evaluation really gives you a tailored program on your car, specifically to your car, rather than it just being a service or this or that. It really is unique to each individual
Shall we move
customer.
to see something in detail?
Behind us we have a vehicle. The customer's been coming to us for several years for just normal servicing and some extra bits here and there. It's their everyday car.
Yeah.
So you can see, unfortunately, we've taken some of the parts off of it at the moment, but it's their everyday vehicle. So it's quite high in the mileage. It's showing its signs of age. It came to us for an evaluation, to which obviously we've sent it all over. You can actually see they're an owners club member as well. You can see the sticker in the window.
Yes, I think we know the owner.
I mean, I'll show you, even just to do with the rear frame alone, you can actually see how badly rusty these go. So you know, it's definitely seeing.
This is the bits people don't see, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, even to do with how the rust develops on the rear panel and things like that. You know, they're getting older.
Yes.
Obviously, they've had 34 years, especially if you're using them every day.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've done the evaluation. Unfortunately, it was going to be too much money to save this one. But obviously part of that program is we can help either source another vehicle or have another vehicle here that if you wanted one, or whatever you decided. So we actually decided with a customer it was easier to make her a new one.
Right.
So if you want to follow me, I'll show you another one.
All right.
So in here we actually have her new car. So this was actually a used vehicle that we had here.
Really? And that's virtually the same. Well, it's the same colour as.
Very close. So it's actually slightly lighter than her old version.
Okay.
So we went through a process of trying to get the right colour for her.
Yep.
Which we've done uniquely with her. So then we've completely repainted it. It was the original lapis grey. We've changed over the dash top. And we're just going through the process of building it all back up now. I actually really like the colour. Yeah. I'd actually like to use it on a different vehicle as well at some point. So we're just going through the build-up process. But one thing that we're really trying to do is, with the evaluation service, is trying to save as many Figaros as we can.
Yeah,
so unfortunately her old one was too far gone to make it economical to repair. But obviously with this one, we then gave this one a new lease of life because this was able to be rejuvenated and brought back to life as well. So she's going to have many more years in this one of having a good fun in a Figaro, basically.
I think it's so important. We're seeing so many cars now, aren't we, you know, that are ending up, unfortunately, at the scrapyard.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's with the evaluation programme last year alone, I think it was 23 vehicles that we not condemned, but weren't able to get back on the road where they were too far gone. You know, which hopefully with this evaluation programme will allow us to keep.
You're breathing new life into it, aren't you, really, at the end of the day? Yeah, absolutely. So what's the build time on this? It's going to be ready in the next, what do you think?
So this will probably be ready about another week. We should be good. Normally, as a rule of thumb, it's around about 4 or 5 weeks from start to finish that we're able to do things. It really depends on the demand and volume and how much work we need to do. Obviously, if it's a complete restoration with rust works, it depends how busy the shop is, but probably around about 4 to 6 weeks normally that we can get most vehicles through. And it also depends on any customisation, so if you're doing some bespoke leather and things, obviously the lead times can go up a bit. But for general things that we tend to see, a lot of people will come in with the evaluation and just keep them on the road.
Yes.
You know, so that can just be getting them through an MOT, for example.
Yeah, of course.
And we can happily work to that standard, you know, so that can be as little as a few £100 through to a couple of thousand.
Going back to what you provide, and obviously you can log in as the owner, is it got prices against everything?
So the one thing that we don't do, first of all, is we don't give prices up front, just because obviously if they, so for example, because it's traffic lighted, if they say, oh, can you quote for everything in red, every template that we have on our system is just for that one single job.
I understand.
So therefore there may be like several overlaps on time.
You're going to do it all at the same time.
Exactly, so you end up saving some money.
Otherwise it would be a ridiculously expensive quote, whereas the fact is you're going to be doing it all within 5 hours.
Absolutely. So yeah, we will always have that discussion first with the customer once they've had the report of what they're after. I will then send over the estimates on that same portal. If you're happy, they can then actually digitally sign that, and then we can crack on with the work. We can then provide video or photo updates on that same portal so they can see what we're doing. We're trying to make it as interactive as possible, but also as user-friendly, because most people work for a living. So obviously if I need to get hold of you during the day, it's not always possible, but if I can send you an estimate on a portal and you can log on to it in the evening and sign it or ask a question back, it's really, really simple.
I think it's such a great service that you're doing there, because as you say, you know, not only are you going over the whole vehicle, you're also providing a video of the vehicle, so you know, you've got evidence as the owner to see, oh yeah, blimey, I didn't know that, or now I can see, I understand it is what you're talking about.
It really does. You know, we do see a lot of cars that if they failed on an MOT on rust, for example, no one actually gets to see how bad that rust is.
Quite.
So, you know, part of the evaluation is because you get to see everything underneath, you can see how bad it actually is, and it just allows us to advise you the right way, because you may go to somebody and they say, oh, it's going to be a couple £100 to put a patch on it, but obviously if we are saying it needs to have a replacement seal, it's because it's a lot worse than we originally wanted it to be, expected it to be. It just allows us to show you the right things at the right times. That's the most important bit.
So if I was an owner and I wanted to have this service, what would I do?
Yeah, so you can either give us a call and obviously speak to myself and book in for the evaluation, or you can actually go onto our website and you can actually just fill in the online inquiry form. We send you an email with just a booking form on, so it's just like all the basics, your name, address, telephone number, car reg, a little bit of history about the car, so if you've not had it for very long, or you have had it for a while, of what you've done on it or what's supposed to have been done, because obviously the more knowledge we have on the vehicle, the better. Yeah, of course. And then we can book you in. Yeah. And
the good thing is that you'll be able to possibly give the owners a history of the car as well through the VIN plate. A lot of people don't understand.
You know, we on our database, we've probably got maybe 2,500 Figaros on our database. So if you're a new owner, the chances that we've seen it at some point before are quite high. So it means that we can then cross-reference things and have a little look through it. You know, so it helps everybody.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, I hope you found that interesting. I certainly have. I think it's a really, really good service, and the fact that it's free, you know, it's a no-brainer. So if you've got in a situation with your car and you're not quite sure what to do with it, in terms of it's got some rust on it, or maybe you want some seats reupholstered, then it's something that you know, get in contact with the Figaro shop and they can help you out. Okay, so that's all from Kevin. I'll see you all soon on the next one. Cheers, bye.